But let's start with the Bucks and the Suns, because two teams that had their playoffs cut short, and the Bucks, many expected them to go to the finals if not win it. Suns were predicted to go further than they did, and both teams fired their head coaches. Mike Budenholzer was let go after the first round, and Monty Williams, after 4 years with the Suns, also let go. That one to me was a bit of a surprise when I saw that notification come in that Monty Williams was let go, because he seems like he's one of the best coaches, also a player's coach. And KD was a big fan of Monty. It was a big reason why he wanted to go to Phoenix. So, what was your guys' reaction to the firing of Monty and also Mike? And who do you guys think should be the next in line for these two teams that have a lot of talent and championship aspirations?
The man
For me,
expert goes first.
For me, I think they both are shocking. Like I said, especially Monty Williams. Obviously, they got KD in the trade deadline or whatever, but it was the team wasn't really full and whole. They didn't have a lot of time to gel and get a lot of chemistry together. So, and then, like I said, he's a player. He's a former player. Everyone, I feel like, loves him. Never heard anything bad about him. And same thing with Mike Budenholzer. I think he got the short end of the stick. Just won a chip a couple years ago. Then this team wasn't healthy this whole year, in and out of rotation, stuff like that. So just unfortunate, but I think they should just honestly just flip flop, just put Monty on the Bucks and put Bud on the Suns and see what they do.
I don't like Bud in Phoenix personally. I like Monty better in Milwaukee. I don't like Monty in Philly. And to me, no, neither was a surprise to me. That was talk as far back as February, March, that if they didn't reach certain benchmarks, they were out. That being said, to me, Ty Lue makes sense in Milwaukee. He also makes sense in Philly, but Sam Cassell also makes sense in Philly. To me, Monty Williams, there is talk from folks that I've spoken with that if there is no high-profile position that he's looking to take, that the New Orleans Pelicans as an assistant coach under Willie Green is something that is being discussed out in New Orleans as well. So there's definitely a lot of back and forth as far as who goes where and the musical chairs that goes with it. But I think that certain teams aren't in a rush. But I do think that out of all the teams that I mentioned Ty Lue quite a bit, if he decides to leave the Clippers, to be honest with you, the perfect fit would actually the most desirable position would be Phoenix, and it would be Ty Lue. He and Kevin Durant have a very deep connection and deep relationship. KD has wanted Ty Lue to be his head coach for a while, dating back to Brooklyn, right before Brooklyn hired Steve Nash. But ultimately, it didn't happen that way. But I think Phoenix is a very attractive destination.
Let me ask you this, Scoop, because I think Ty Lue still has 2 years left on his contract, and the Clippers seem to be firm on we want to keep him. Him and Steve Ballmer reportedly have a good relationship. So could we see another trade, you think, of a coach? Because we haven't seen one of those since, I think, Doc Rivers from the Celtics to the Clippers. Do you think there's any chance we see that happen or no?
Yeah, those are the type of deals that started, I remember, in football when Belichick came to the Patriots, and then you saw that with Jason Kidd when he went to Milwaukee after leaving Brooklyn. CJ, I think you were on that team.
No, I wasn't on the team. That was the year before. I was on that 12, 13 year, yeah.
So let me rewind. I say that to say this. The Clippers, from folks that I've spoken with, will decide to match anything or rather, they have the money to give Ty Lue whatever he wants. But I also think that there is a situation where you look at the next 2 to 3 years. I've always looked at the Clippers and that situation as a 3 to 4 year window, maybe 5, with Kawhi and Paul George. But I think there would definitely be a conversation about a trade because he's under contract currently, So to me, that would make plausible sense. I do think Phoenix or Philly are the best fit. Phoenix would be my leader in that regard. Yeah, those are the combination of things I've heard and things that I just sense in my report, in my early reporting of what's going on within the coaching scene.
Yeah, I think for the Bucks, they should definitely take a look at Monty Williams, like both of you guys were alluding to. And I think the Bucks and the Suns should both also consider Nick Nurse. I mean, another high-profile guy that's a championship. And, it's crazy that we've seen now, what is that, two coaches that have won championships get released, you know, in this offseason. And the Mike Bud didn't really surprise me. Mike Scoop was saying it's been rumored for a bit now. And while Mike Bud is a good coach, there are instances where we see some of his lineups and in-game adjustments necessarily as tactical as we've seen other coaches make. And so I think that was a big part of the decision. You know, but I think Monty Williams is still a really good coach, and Nick Nurse too. So I think those are some of the top guys we'll see in the running for the Bucks jobs and for the Suns on the Nick Nurse front.